kindergarten students and parents. I am Becky Judkins. I teach 2 sessions of kindergarten at North Ogden Elementary, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and I love working here. I just have a couple of items to discuss with you today. The first thing is sleep. I also love sleep. Now, did you know a 5 or 6-year-old requires 10 hours of sleep each night? And so does a kindergarten teacher, by the way. Please make sure that you send your child to school each day well rested. The second thing I'd like to talk about is food, another thing that I love. Please make sure that your child has had a good breakfast or lunch when you bring them to school. Wednesdays can be really tricky for afternoonies because school starts at 11:10. So give them a really good snack on those days. Kiddos with empty tummies have a hard time focusing and working. The last thing I want to talk about is clothing. Now, in kindergarten, we do a lot of sitting on our rug and playing outside on the playground equipment. So our cute girls should wear shorts or leggings under their dresses. And also, it's a good idea to have your child sit on the floor with pretzel legs and make sure that their pants cover their back porch well. You know, styles are changing all the time, so it's tricky to know what issues there will be. Also, we do go out to recess most days, even in the winter. So if you would make sure you dress your child for the weather, that would be appreciated. And if you would label their coats and hats and gloves with their names before they come to school, that would help us out a lot as well. We are looking forward with great anticipation to the beginning of kindergarten. So I hope you have a fabulous summer, and we'll see you in August. Bye-bye.
Hi, kindergarten families. My name is Melanie Shires, and I am one of the kindergarten teachers here at North Ogden Elementary. I would just like to go over a couple of items with you. Please ensure that your child has a backpack that they can zip and unzip. In kindergarten, we send home a daily communication folder or slip every single day. The daily communication folder informs the parent of how their child is doing behaviorally each day. This is why it's so imperative that your child bring their backpack to school every day and that they know how to zip and unzip the backpack. Also, please encourage your child to use a glue stick this summer. Please ensure that they know how to wind up the glue stick and unwind the glue stick, and using the glue stick appropriately on the paper. This also applies to scissors. Please have your child use scissors over the summer. They can cut squiggly lines. They can also cut all different types of shapes. Thank you so much for listening to this portion of the video. We are so excited to meet you and your child. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jamie Abney, and I am the school nurse at North Ogden Elementary. I'm so glad that I get to speak with you today for a little bit about some important information that needs to be turned in with your registration packets for the students that will be starting kindergarten this fall. For students to attend kindergarten, these are the immunizations that they need to have. If you've got those all done, go ahead and send in a record of that for your student with your registration packet. If you haven't finished those, go ahead and do all you can to get those done. You can go to your healthcare provider. You can also go to the Weber Morgan Health Department. From what I've heard, they are seeing well children there, and so just call ahead, make an appointment. And then another place you could go to get your immunizations would be a pharmacy. There's a lot of pharmacies around that do give those, and so just call ahead on that one too and make sure. If you're also working on catching up, but there's certain amounts of time you have to wait in between each shot, go ahead and bring in the records you have that's the most recent up to date, and I can talk with you and we can talk about kind of that plan going forward. If you don't have health insurance, there's a few numbers on here that might be helpful. There's a number for Medicaid, or you could go onto Google and just type in Utah Medicaid healthcare plans. There's also a phone number on here for CHIP. And then the Midtown Clinic or the Weber Morgan Health Department can also be of assistance, and their phone numbers are on here as well. If you choose to not immunize your child, you will need to bring in an exemption form. And this would be a personal, religious, or medical exemption form. So you can go online at immunizeutah.org and you work through a module on there. You sign the vaccination form, and then you'll bring a copy of that into the school that we'll keep in your student's file. For a medical exemption, you also do the same thing with the exemption form online, but you'll also need a written notice signed by a licensed healthcare provider explaining why your student is not able to be immunized. In the past, the health department has had the option of going in to do this, but they do charge a fee. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and call ahead to make sure they are still doing that right now. If you've had an exemption form in the past for your student, maybe that's been in preschool, you will have to do a new one. The law states that they do new exemption forms for kindergarten and seventh grade. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Something that's really important that I want to point out is that students must be in compliance of these requested documents by the first day of school. So we need to have either an immunization record of your student or an exemption form filled out by you. If your student has any health concerns, and for example, this could be diabetes, seizures, asthma, or any type of allergy, or any other chronic health condition, or if there's anything that you feel that may just need to be passed on to the teacher, please get a hold of me. I'd love to talk to you about that. We want your student to feel safe here at school, to be healthy, and also feel that they can learn. If they do take a medication during the school day, we will need some documentation for that. Students are not allowed to bring in medications, and this also includes over-the-counter medications. So even if it is an over-the-counter medication that your student may need or needs daily, that's also something we have to have paperwork for. So there's some forms to be filled out that I can give to you that you can take to your healthcare provider for them to fill out and sign. You'll sign, and then I'll meet with you, and you can bring in that medication. So contact me if there is a need there. Here is my contact information. The best way to get a hold of me is through email right now. And there's my email address. It's jaabney1@wsd.net. You could also call the school and they could get a hold of me too, but this is the best way for now. If you have any questions at all about anything I've talked about today, or if it's something completely different, I would love to hear from you. Also, I look forward to meeting each one of you. I hope that you are preparing for kindergarten this fall, and I know that you'll love being at North Ogden Elementary. It's a great school with great staff. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Olson, and I'm the speech language pathologist for North Ogden Elementary. I'm always excited to begin a new school year and meet your kindergartners as they begin their formal school experience. As we all know, this is an unusual year in which we are doing our kindergarten roundup online, but I want you to know that I'm available to answer any questions or concerns you may have about your child's speech and language development. Each kindergarten student will have the opportunity to have their hearing checked at the beginning of the school year. We will have a team here that is trained and skilled in administering a hearing screening to make sure that your child's hearing is in the normal range. If a child's hearing is compromised, it can have an impact on their ability to follow directions, hear sounds for learning how to read, and delay their development in acquiring language skills. If, for any reason, your child's hearing is not in the normal range, he or she will be retested within the month. You will be notified if your child fails the second hearing test, and at that time, you will be given specific information for you to follow up with. As we all know, communication is necessary for all of us, including our children. It allows us to interact, share ideas, express ourselves, and learn in a myriad of environments. In most cases, children develop communication skills naturally, but in some instances, children may exhibit speech or language delays and need additional help. Some children may receive speech and language services that are provided in the school setting if and when a child is determined through multiple measures that they have a significant delay. Communication services can can be provided in several different areas. Some of the most common areas and some that you may be familiar with are the following. Articulation is the ability to produce developmentally appropriate speech sounds for oral speech. Language is understanding and using words to express oneself. Some areas that it includes would be grammar, sentence structure, vocabulary, and social skills. Fluency is the ability to speak in a fluid, smooth pattern without an atypical amount of repetitions or hesitations. It is sometimes referred to as stuttering. Speech and language skills are acquired developmentally. Just as a child first learns to roll over, sit up, crawl, and then walk, speech and language also occurs developmentally. By the time your child is ready to start kindergarten, there are certain speech and language milestones that are typically observed in children. For example, your child's speech should be intelligible, which means they can be understood by unfamiliar listeners. They should be able to use most pronouns correctly, in addition to using longer sentences in their oral speech. He or she should be able to ask and answer WH questions, follow 2 to 3 step oral directions correctly, and retell stories in a sequential order. Just as language is learned developmentally, so are the different speech sounds used in oral speech. Some speech sounds are typically learned earlier than others. For example, a baby will usually start to babble with the P, B, and M sounds because they are visible movements on the parent's lips and easily imitated. Other sounds, such as the R, L, and TH, are often acquired later on. It is normal for many of the kindergarten students to not be able to say all the speech sounds correctly as they start school, especially the later developing ones. Please refer to the speech sound development chart to see where your child is in their speech production. Just as we encourage our children to crawl and we hold their hands as they begin to walk, there are many things we can do as parents in encouraging their speech and language skills to develop. Make sure you are reading with your child in addition to talking about what you are reading. The more verbal you are with your child, the more he or she will be exposed to words that create a robust vocabulary and strong language base for learning. Talk about what you are doing as you perform tasks around the house. Talk about what you see and think about as you are driving or are playing with your child. Engage your child in conversations, making sure they have plenty of opportunities to share their thoughts and ideas. Although we sometimes think otherwise, our children's ears are always on, and they are always listening to us. As parents, we can be our children's best role models for helping them develop the invaluable speech and language skills that are so necessary for their growth. I have provided some handouts for you in the kindergarten packet that will give you additional information about speech and language. I hope you take the opportunity to read through them. Please contact me at the school if you have any questions or concerns regarding your child's speech and language skills. I look forward to getting to know you and your children in the upcoming school year. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa Leemaster. I'm the reading specialist at North Ogden Elementary. So we're doing this at home. I'm going to present a presentation that goes through kindergarten, Miss Bindergarten kindergarten book that will help your child be ready for kindergarten. As a parent, I remember asking myself, how can I help my child be ready for kindergarten? Well, guess what? You don't have to guess. We have it here for you. Kindergarten Ready. Thank you, Treehouse Museum. Treehouse Museum has Meet Mrs. Bindergarten. Get Ready for Kindergarten. It's a book. Your student will, and I don't know for sure how we'll get these to you, but when you're able to receive these materials, you'll get this green backpack that's just a little day backpack. And with it, there are 2 books in it. One is the actual textbook, Miss Bindergarten Gets Ready for Kindergarten. The other one is an activity book. And this has all the activities. If you do these multiple times, you will have success. You'll have a child ready for kindergarten. In the activity book, you'll notice the story is on one side and the other side has the activity. Now, the actual book doesn't have the activities. It's simply the story. But the activity book has the story with the activities along that you can do and write in along the way. You want to write in the activity book. Your first one thing in the very back of the book, there are alphabet cards and number cards, and they're ready for tear out. My suggestion would be only to cut out the animal alphabet page. So this page has upper and lowercase page. This upper and lowercase page, I don't know if you can see that, that's here. That page you don't want to cut out. That's your game board. But there's another page that I don't have here, which has the animals, and it has the letter names on that as well. Say, find the A letter and match it to the game board, which has the uppercase and lowercase. The other one has just the picture of the animal with the uppercase and lowercase letters as well. But I wouldn't cut all of those together. You're going to have a lot of letters on your hands. I would just have this page that's being displayed as the game board, and the other one with the animal alphabet page, that's your letter matchup. I hope that was explained well. And then we're gonna go through each page, some of the more specific pages. This is Adam Alligator Loves the Alphabet. So another thing you can do with your cards is you can get those animal alphabet cards, and as you put them on, you can put them in A, B, C, D, E in alphabet order. And you can put them on the game board doing that. And then you can sing the alphabet song. But while you sing the alphabet song on the game board, you are pointing to the letters as you sing the song. You might think this is easy, but actually it is more difficult than you realize. Kids, they'll go A, B, C, D. But when they get to L, M, N, O, P, they don't know that there is a letter L, M, N, O, P. So the game board is really helpful to show the visual of the letters they're singing. It's really powerful. So you'll definitely want to use that game board while you sing the song. You'll be surprised at how the first time they do it, they might not know each letter that they're singing. And then as they continue practicing that skill, singing the song, they will be touching L, M, N, O, P. And it's really fun to see the growth. So I would definitely start that and measure how they did the first time compared to how you are doing it in August. If you do that every day, you're going to see a significant difference. You're going to want to make sure they are aware of the uppercase A and the lowercase a. They're two, same letter, written two different ways. We have this suggestion ABC order, cut out the cards, match them to the upper and the lowercase letters. Also, pull in those cards. Here is A. What is the sound of this letter? Ah. Pull another card. Maybe it's M. What is the sound of this letter? So you have the letter name versus the letter sound. You're going to want to do that. On this specific page, it's asking you to write your name. So you're going to have to get a pencil, because that's what they're going to be using in kindergarten, and you're going to want to show them how to hold their pencil. If you're not sure how to teach this, honestly, YouTube it. How to hold a pencil. That will teach you how to teach your child how to hold a pencil. And then remember, you're going to want to teach them how to write their name. This is important. I always say this every year. If your child has a long name, like Zachary, Zachary, that's 7 letters, versus a little boy's name, Ty, Ty. Ty is going to be done and starting his homework, while Zachary is still writing his name. If Zachary doesn't know how to write his name, he's going to think that he doesn't know what he's doing, because Ty's already finished with the assignment and he's still writing his name. He has 5 more letters to write. And I'm telling you, it does make a difference. So if you have a longer name, teach your child how to write that longer name. Beautiful names, short or long, don't care. Just make sure they know how to write it. Remember, the first letter in the name should be uppercase, and all the letters following that uppercase should be lowercase. So keep that in mind. Look at right there on that slide. It says Adam, capital A, lowercase d, lowercase a, lowercase m, Adam. So you'll want to practice that. If I were you, I would use this page and write their name more than one time. So maybe Adam writes it small one day. I'd write the date. What date did he write that name? And then do it again in that same box. Maybe the next week you're practicing all week long. Have him write it a second time. Have him write it a third time, fourth time, and date it. And then you have kind of a journal of how much they've improved in their letter writing with their name. Then we have the next one, Lenny Lion Loves Letters. So this is fun. There are all these activities you can do. Grab and match is you grab things around your house and then you pull it out. Maybe it's a car and you say car. What is the first sound in car? And they'd say k. And then you could say, what two letters have the sound k? And this is kind of advanced, but they would say C and K. But let's make it easier. Maybe you pull out a ball. What's the first sound in ball? B. Point to the letter that has that sound B, and they point to B. So there's lots of activities like that there are. At the beginning of the school year, we do ask them, what is the first sound in cat? K. What is the first sound in house? H. What is the first sound in fan? F. So that is a skill that they are tested on at the beginning of the year. So that activity page has some of those things. And this is Raffi Rhino Loves Reading. Read to your child 20 minutes every day. There's a list of children books in the back of the activity book. So if you're like, I don't even know where to start, don't worry. The Treehouse has you covered. Go to the back of your book, and there are 26 book suggestions right there that hopefully when the library opens, you can go check those out and read those books to your child. 26 books, that's a month of books that you could read every day to your child. The importance, why is this important? I'll tell you why. If you could look at this slide, notice it says student A reads 20 minutes each day, 3,600 minutes in a year. If you have 3,600 minutes in a year, your child is just exposed to 1,800,000 words. Imagine that many words if you do that. By the time they're 4 until the time of 5, you're giving them a head start into kindergarten just by reading to your student 20 minutes a day. Student B only is read to 5 minutes a day. That's 900 minutes in a school year. Look at that cut. 282,000 words they're exposed to by reading 5 minutes a day. What would you want your student? Do you want them exposed to 282,000 words in a year or 1,800,000 words in a year? I definitely want the 1,800,000. And then if your child is only read to 1 minute a day, look at that. They're only exposed to 8,000 words. 8,000 words. They're in the 10th percentile versus 282,000 words compared to 1,800,000 words only by reading 20 minutes a day. This is something any parent can do. You all can do it. It's just set your timer, have it go off, and then know it is time to read with my child. And that's you reading aloud to them. You're exposing them to rich vocabulary, and that gives them an advantage during their kindergarten years. So I challenge you to do that for your child. Not only that, it brings great connection. Remember, if you don't have books in your home, go to the library, check out books, check out 5 books a week, read to them 5 days in that week, and then go back, check out 5 more books. You can do this all summer long, and it will prepare your student for kindergarten. Why is it so important in kindergarten? I'll tell you why kindergarten is my favorite year. It's the year they're the most excited about school. And they're not only just excited about school, they're excited about reading. Check that out. Kindergarten, interest in reading a book outside of school, 100% interest. Fourth grade, 54% interest. Eighth grade, 30% interest. 12th grade, 19% interest of reading a book. How much power do you have to get the interest level of your kindergartner to reading? 100%. You never have those odds that are in your favor. That is pretty cool. I've got some book suggestions, of course I do. These are Bob books. They're my favorite thing for kindergartners because as you read them, they're called consonant, vowel, consonant words, CVC words. They're words like pat, log, sit, run, man, can, fan, and they've put them into these little short texts. So they're all short vowel words. The blue set is the beginning set, where it's all short vowel words. The blue set has some sight words with it. The purple set are all sight words, and then you move on to short vowel and long vowels, and then the red set being all red long vowel words. Bob books are my favorite because they are books that your kindergartner will be able to read by the end of kindergarten, sorry. And even though I'm a reading coach, I do love numbers. And so again, this is Noah New loves numbers. You're going to definitely want to take that opportunity to, again, do the same thing that you did with ABCs with numbers. So when you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your students should be able to point to the 1 and say 1, not just count, but also point to the visual, the actual number that they're saying. So you're going to want to practice that. Counting is so fun. You can count doors, your windows, your stairs, action figures. There's a list of activities you can do on this page in the kindergarten book. Gwen Gorilla loves games. Make it fun. Tie it into what you're already doing, guessing and estimating. Let's say you have a little thing of fruit snacks. Everybody has fruit snacks. So you have fruit snacks. Before your child is able to eat their fruit snacks, they have to estimate, and you use that word. Let's estimate how many fruit snacks are in here. And of course, they might say 1,000,000 or 100. And then all of a sudden you open it up and they count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suddenly they realize they've been cheated from 1,000,000 to only 10 fruit snacks, but that's okay. You can also practice colors with those fruit snacks, or if it's a little thing of Skittles. If you have a big bag of Skittles, put them in a little snack size bag and then count those and then eat those. You can do that. Skittles, M&M's, Goldfish, pretzels. Estimate, count, and eat, repeat. And then Sarah Squirrel loves shapes. You will want your child to know what a circle is, square, rectangle, triangle. This page helps you do that. Christopher Cat loves colors. We can't forget the colors. So help them to know that color is red. What is this color? It's blue. What is the color of my shirt? Black. And then Danny Dog, different and same. Different and same. That's a huge concept in kindergarten, to know what is different and what is the same. Also rich vocabulary using different and same. Patricia Pig loves patterns. So definitely look for patterns. This page in kindergarten goes over the activities that help with patterns. And then Fran Frog loves making new friends. You want your child to have social skills when they come into kindergarten. You want them to know how to share, how to take turns, teach them how to do chores. I cannot tell you the value of hard work, but if you teach your kindergartner that learning is hard work and that's okay, you are doing your child a great service. You're giving them the advantage, the head start to be successful during their kindergarten year. Share how your day was. This is one of my favorite things. When I was I am a parent, but when I had little children, I stopped saying, how was your day? Because they'd say, great. fun, boring. So I started saying things, asking questions like, what was your favorite part of your day? What was the most interesting thing you learned today? I changed my wording of my questions so that they were no longer one word answers. What was the most boring thing that happened? Or who was the funniest? What was the funniest thing that happened in your day? So that it would promote conversation. Mrs. Bailey, Mrs. Olson, in our school, she's our speech pathologist, and she says that having conversations with your kids, we have to have them. We are letting our children be quiet by looking at iPads and watching movies. So we really want to encourage conversations on just little things that are happening in our house, on a walk, on a hike, in the car. Just ask questions. I mean, I know the children might not love it, but I promise you'll love their conversation skills because of it. So thank you, Treehouse and Miss Bindergarten. Now we are ready for kindergarten. There is a skill checklist page. You can get that skill checklist and just mark it off. See how many times you can go through the skills, and your child will be successful. That's really what you want. You want your child to feel confident. You want them to feel capable and ready for school. You don't want them to be afraid. Everything you do now and throughout the summer is going to help them feel confident and prepared. And they're going to go in that kindergarten room and they're going to just show that they're ready to learn. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and good luck. I hope I see you on the first day of school.
Hello everyone, my name is Shirley Passy and I'm the principal here at North Ogden Elementary, and I just want to give you a warm welcome to bringing your kids here for kindergarten. We have an amazing faculty and staff in this building, and great things happen here. And we are so excited to have you come and bring your children, and maybe in the summer you can kind of drive by and stop and let your children get used to it. We're excited to have outstanding kindergarten teachers that will teach them lots of things: reading, math, social skills. And one of the things that we love is that we'll be able to teach them 7 habits from Stephen R. Covey. We are a Leader in Me school, which means that we try to teach the children leadership skills and have them empowered for their own learning. They're in charge of their learning. So again, a warm welcome to North Ogden Elementary. We'll see you in the fall, and we're so excited to have your beautiful children join us.
Hi kindergartners, my name is Mrs. Shires, and I am one of the kindergarten teachers at North Ogden Elementary. And I wanted to read you one of my favorite stories called It Looked Like Spilt Milk by Charles G. Shaw. So I hope you enjoy this story as much as I do. Sometimes it looked like spilt milk, but it wasn't spilt milk. Sometimes it looked like a rabbit, but it wasn't a rabbit. Sometimes it looked like a bird, but it wasn't a bird. Sometimes it looked like a tree, but it wasn't a tree. Sometimes it looked like an ice cream cone, but it wasn't an ice cream cone. Sometimes it looked like a flower, but it wasn't a flower. Sometimes it looked like a pig, but it wasn't a pig. Sometimes it looked like a birthday cake, but it wasn't a birthday cake. Sometimes it looked like a sheep, but it wasn't a sheep. Sometimes it looked like a great horned owl, but it wasn't a great horned owl. Sometimes it looked like a mitten, but it wasn't a mitten. Sometimes it looked like a squirrel, but it wasn't a squirrel. Sometimes it looked like an angel, but it wasn't an angel. Sometimes it looked like spilt milk, but it wasn't spilt milk. It was just a cloud in the sky. Kindergartners, I hope that you enjoyed listening to the story It Looked Like Spilt Milk, and I can't wait to meet you all very, very soon.
Okay, welcome to North Ogden Elementary Kindergarten. We are so excited to have you come have a walk through here in our kindergarten area. As we walk down the hall, you will see that we have some really fun ways to display art. This is where we do whole group music activities, and that's one of our favorite things, is to sing. When we come here, we have Mrs. Shire's class on the left, and then Mrs. Judkins' class on the right. Also, we'll take a little peek outside. It's a rainy day, but this is our kindergarten playground. We have a lot of fun out here. And this is where your child will be dropped off each day as well, to wait until school starts. Okay, let's visit Mrs. Shire's room first. We just want to show you a few important things. First of all, inside both kindergarten rooms, we have hooks, a place for your kindergartner to hang their coats and backpacks. We also have a drinking fountain. We know that kindergartners get thirsty, especially after recess. And then we have lots of good places for learning. Small group centers, the carpet, our amazing kindergarten desks. So this is Mrs. Shire's room. Now let's move across the hall to Mrs. Judkins' room. One thing that you'll notice when you first walk in is that both kindergarten rooms have their own bathroom. Nice and handy for kindergartners who need to take a quick break. We also have a place called cubbies where they can keep all of their belongings safe, and where their pencil box will have a sleepover every night. And a drinking fountain in here. We have iPads in the kindergarten room. And really great interactive smart screens so that we can do all kinds of good learning. We have a kindergarten rug, and each day we visit our calendar wall to learn about the days of the week, to figure out what the weather is, to do some number counting and regrouping. This is where we also spend time reading lots and lots of kindergarten books. So we can't wait to see you in August, and you'll be able to come into this room and enjoy some one-on-one time with your teacher, and then when school starts, this will be your home away from home.